Hello all and welcome to another caffeinated entertainment video. It's Art here with the book review for Body on Baker Street, the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop Mystery Series, book number 2 by Vicki Delaney. Book 2 has some of the same great qualities of the first book and yet some of the same flaws of the first book too, but overall the book was decent. Let's dive into it and dissect it, and then I'll let you know what my ratings are on both the scaled systems. First off, I love the bookshop owner, Gemma Doyle. I also love Moriarty the cat and how they interact, or their lack of it, or their antagonistic relationship between each other. I love that it's a Sherlock Holmes cozy in which you get to see the day-to-day life in the small West London town of West London, Massachusetts. That's where the series is set. That's where the first one was set as well. So I completely love and adore that. It took Vicki Delaney 7 chapters to get to the titular Body on Baker Street. That to me was a little bit slow, a little bit far too slow for what it should be, and that will be reflected in the score in a few minutes. Also, it suffers from the Murder, She Wrote kind of vibe, where Jessica Lange, Angela Lansbury's character, always helped solve the crime and was always around the dead body. However, logic would dictate that around a certain point, more and more often, she would be suspected and maybe even convicted on circumstantial evidence of a crime or two, because these things always happen while she's around, is what I mean to say. So that to me is another flaw. Now, Vicki Delaney handles it in such a way, you'll have to pardon the dogs, they just got released from their kennels. So if you hear them scrambling, that's why. They get excited when they first get released. Vicki Delaney handles this in the best way possible that she can, and that is, she does have one of the detectives completely loathe Gemma and always suspect Gemma. But Gemma, of course, comes out smiling like a rose, and she comes out having solved the case before the police. Now, logic would also dictate that if that were the case, that she would inevitably be conscripted into the police department, at least into the detective division of the police department. So that too is a little bit too far-fetched for me to stretch my suspension of disbelief. However, that being said, the books are written beautifully. The books are entertaining as hell. The books are enjoyable and flow and are paced excellently. The mysteries always leave it twists and turns, and with this series especially, I have come to taking like a dry erase board. I wish I would have left it up. A dry erase board and listing off the suspects and trying to solve the case before Gemma solves it, or before Vicki Delaney reveals it to the reader. It's kind of like a game of Clue in that aspect. It's a game of whodunit. And in those aspects, that's why I love this series. I love that it's a cozy, it's a palate cleanser for me. I'm not expecting the greatest book I've ever read when I read these books. I'm expecting a quality, fun experience that so far through the first two books I've gotten. I've received. So, will I continue on with the next book in this series? Yes, The Cat of Baskervilles is definitely deep down dive into my... it's on my TBR to continue to be read. I'll probably catch up with this series a lot faster than I caught up with the Mary Russell's Sherlock Holmes series. Because these are just great palate cleansers. When I'm done putting other books on hold, these are the books I dive towards. I have to enjoy. So, so what am I going to give it as a score? I feel like it is on par and of equal measure as Elementary She Read. And that's why I have to give it a 4 stars out of 5. A read it and love it. You don't necessarily have to own it, but definitely read them from your local library. Get them from Audible. Do whatever you have to do to enjoy these great cozies. Because cozies are palate cleansers and they're fun. They're not meant to set the world on fire, but they are meant to be enjoyable. And the first thing we should do when reading is enjoy ourselves. And this series for me is highly enjoyable, even though the critical thinker, the reviewer in my mind, goes, nope, that's a flaw. It's a lot easier for me to look past the flaws of this series than, say, of a George R.R. Martin Song of Ice and Fire book, because I take that book more seriously, because I expect more from that book. These books, I just want to be fun, and they are fun. So without further ado, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like and comment and subscribe if you want to see more. Please let me know what books you're reading or what cozies you've read that you also find that level of enjoyment in. So, and like I said before, ding the notification bell for when I upload videos, because maybe YouTube will be nice and let you know, maybe not. Check your subscription feeds as well. So without further ado, the game is still afoot for these waning days in January. I'll see you soon. Happy reading and peace.